Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the moment you've all been waiting for, coming to you live from Xhaoz Studios. Without any further ado, the man, the myth, the legend,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Xhaoz here with your WWE PayBack 2016 non-live because my XSplit and my computer are pieces of shit. So when I start donations, you guys please be ready to donate to the show. But we're here. It's me and my co-host Stefan giving our WWE PayBack reactions and thoughts. So we're gonna start off with the pre-show. Excuse me while I grab this, because you know I'm a super hipster. I wouldn't be the champion of YouTube if I wasn't. I'm gonna grab my trusty hookah real quick. It's out of smoke. Like Payback. Out of smoke. Or went up in smoke. Oh, well, let's talk about the pre-show. So, first match was Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, the running thing with the matches today that I saw, that we both saw, were that the wins were really unnecessary or highly questionable. At least in my opinion. Don't you think so, Stefan? Don't you think so that they were, like, the people who won the matches shouldn't have won, more or less? Huh? That's weird. Where'd you go? Hello? Nah, it's gone. Hold on. Kind of weird. We're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, I was asking you, I said, don't you think that some of the people, well, almost everybody that won a match today should not have won?
Yeah, they really shouldn't have won. There's no way Dolph really should have won that match.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. Dolph Ziggler won. I predicted that Baron Corbin was going to win, that Dolph Ziggler was going to give the rub to Baron Corbin. I was wrong. I also thought it would be on the main show, not the pre-show. Second off, they had a rematch of the last, of WrestleMania's pre-show with Ryback versus Kalisto. That top rope military gorilla press was outstanding. That was one of Ryback's best matches ever. However, Kalisto won, so I don't really see what was the point of doing that whole thing with having Ryback have another chance, because it didn't really give him any momentum. It didn't really change anything for Kalisto. But that's another one for Kalisto, who was a two-time United States champion, which I don't really understand that whole thing with him and Del Rio either. But hey, WWE. We start off with the tag team finals tournament with the Vaudevillains and Enzo and Cass, which unfortunately, I'm going to say unfortunately because we don't know if it was a shoot or a work. Enzo Amore got extremely hurt. He got fucking whiplash out the ass, and he had to be taken to the hospital due to that. And due to that, Enzo and Cass lost and Vaudevillains won. We later found out that Enzo Amore had a concussion, and we'll be updated with more news on that later on. After that match was, which match was it after that? I'm a little, it wasn't really that many matches that went on. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah, it was the Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens match. Now, this one, I didn't approve of Sami Zayn losing. Only because the fact that he could have got a win and it could have continued, like the whole fight could have continued on, because Kevin Owens could have attacked him after Sami Zayn won. They could have had a cheap roll-up victory or something like that, but a victory's a victory, you know? But in the end, he lost, and Kevin Owens ended up staying out to watch the next match, was the Intercontinental title match, which that between The Miz and Cesaro, it was a good match. With the commentary for Kevin Owens was actually outstandingly funny. He would make a good heel announcer later on once he's done with the whole wrestling thing. That ended up turning into a brawl with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens fighting, ending up on the top rope which makes no sense whatsoever. Because if you're brawling, why would you end up on the top rope? Well, not top rope, like on the apron, and that distracted Cesaro for Miz to roll up and grab the tights and retain the championship. And then it became a big brawl after that with Kevin Owens standing tall, which makes me, as my co-host Stefan here said, also believe there's going to be a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship, most likely at Extreme Rules. Now, whether you guys think that's the case or not, that's up to you. After that, did you have anything to say about that?
No, I was just going to say maybe it'll be announced like maybe tomorrow.
I don't know. I don't know when it will be announced, but who knows? Maybe it'll be announced like on a SmackDown or some shit. But after that was the Divas match. Oh wow, my elbows are ashy as fuck. The Divas match, well, the women's match, the Diva women's match between Natalya and Charlotte with Can't Hold His Liquor in Charlotte's side and Captain Cancer at Natalya's side. No, best of luck to Bret Hart, all jokes aside. I'm glad he beat Cancer. He's a fighter. He's an excellent execution, all that bullshit. But anyway, so the match basically went as expected until the end. Now, here's the thing that got to me. They tried to pull off a Montreal Screwjob, something that my co-host doesn't know about, so don't fault him for it. But they tried to pull off the Montreal Screwjob with Natalya and Charlotte, but it's not going to work for one reason. Natalya's not leaving to go to a different wrestling company, for one. Who would have paid off Charles Robinson to end the match like that? There's no backstory. There's no front story. So I feel like that was unnecessary whatsoever. I feel like maybe Charlotte should have like pinned her with her feet on the ropes or something like that, and they could have had the same end result where Ric Flair came in the ring and they cheered or whatever, and then Bret Hart knocked him out and then put him in a sharpshooter, and that whole thing could have happened without the whole bullshit ass screw job angle, because it was exactly what I said, bullshit. I found it to be exactly retarded. Even my co-host over here, who doesn't even know what the Montreal screw job was, felt like the whole angle was fucking retarded. So it was unnecessary. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nah, it was retarded. Retarded as fuck.
And the match after that was... Oh, or did we skip a match? Because I know that Dean Ambrose and Jericho went. But I was trying to figure out if they went before Charlotte or after. But anyway, Dean Ambrose and Jericho went. And finally, as I predicted, Dean Ambrose got a pay-per-view win. Finally. There's not really much else to say about it. Jericho had his little bullshit-ass temper tantrum after the fact. Is there anything you want to add about that match?
No, it's pretty much what I was hoping for, too.
Dean Ambrose finally got a win. So I guess he keeps his Ambrose Asylum thing. I'm not really sure what the stipulation is with that. But I'm glad for Dean. Finally, maybe he's getting some type of better push than just being comedy fodder. And lastly, the main event. You know, usually these pay-per-views go on to like 11:10, 11:15. But this one actually didn't go on that long. And it might be just because of the thing that happened with Enzo and Cass, which makes me believe that maybe it actually was a legitimate shoot injury that happened and it wasn't planned. So we had like a good 5 minutes of staring down and pacing and scoping out the opponent bullshit between AJ Styles and Roman Reigns before the whole thing like got underway, and it was a good match. It was a pretty good match. I'll give Roman Reigns credit where it's due. I'll give AJ Styles credit where it's due. It was a good match. And, of course, after the whole Vince announcement, which we're going to get into after this, Shane came out. He restarted the match that ended due to count out because Roman Reigns got fucking filleted through the table by AJ Styles and couldn't make it back in at the 10 count. Then Stephanie came out after AJ Styles got hit in the balls accidentally, and man, did that look like it hurt like hell. And it started the match again as a no DQ, to which, of course, the Bullet Club or GB for life, Good Brothers for life, whatever the fuck you want to call them, Good Burger for life. Welcome to the Good Burger, may I take your order? Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows came out, beat the shit out of Reigns. Of course, the Usos came out after that. So everybody's predictions of, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns turning immediately heel, even though he did show some signs of being a heel and a jackass throughout the match. But those things did not happen. It was basically just my friends versus your friends and a big battle outside. And it looked like AJ Styles was going to win, but obviously he wasn't going to win. And I say he wasn't going to win because of one thing that JBL said. Roman Reigns has not been champion for long. They already done took the title from him, twice? He's on his second reign as a champion, third reign. Is his third?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's on his third reign as champion. What is it? I know he won it. He won it.
Three.
Yeah, this is the third one?
Yeah.
Shit. Damn, Reigns.
He won it. He won it the first time, then he lost it to Sheamus.
Yeah, he lost to Sheamus.
And then he won it again.
Then he won again, lost to Triple H.
That's two. Then he lost it to another.
In the Royal Rumble. And he won it again. Yeah, he's on his third. Yeah, he's on his third reign. So you should know by now, unless Roman Reigns has the title for like 6 months or so, he's not losing the title anytime soon. Unless they really want to make this guy a 4-time world champion in the span of a year. And then I think I will really start watching TNA in. Hell, I watch Hulk Hogan's midget wrestling instead of watching WWE. They do that shit. So, after the whole shenanigans thing, Roman Reigns gets the pin and the win. And there's going to be a rematch, an Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules, which is going to be later this month. So that means they'll have 2 pay-per-views in 1 month, which is funny. But, as I was stating before, Vince McMahon comes out to a chorus of CM Punk chants, which is actually pretty fucking hilarious. He comes out to those chants, and
our hometown.
Then Stephanie comes out, and she tries to pander to Vince, saying that she's the better suited company figure and all that. And then Shane comes out and does his little running jig, which I think Shane is the king of the Running Man dance if he actually did it. Like, if he did a Running Man challenge, he beat all of them. Because I still don't understand how he does that shit. He's damn near 50 doing that high-speed Running Man shit. It's pretty dope. But anyway, he comes out and he tries to pander to the crowd and everybody saying that he's a better choice, which he is. But then Vince, which basically spits on anybody who said that there's going to be a brand split, which it might still be, but I doubt it is, says that Stephanie and Shane are now in control of Monday Night Raw. So that means tomorrow should be very interesting. They shook hands, even though I thought that when he stuck out his hand to shake Stephanie's, Stephanie was going to do her whole generic, I like to slap everybody angle and slap the shit out of him. But she didn't. Yeah. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow night after Monday Night Raw and the aftermath of Payback. But you have anything else to say?
No, not really.
All right. So, I guess that's it. Well, is it like 10-10-1 says, you give us 15 minutes, we'll give you the world? Well, you gave us about 13 and a half minutes because that's all the time I have for today. This has been Xhaoz and Stefan with your WWE Wrestling Talk. Payback 2016 is over, and now it's time for me to get some sleep or watch the Joe Cronin Show, which is what you guys should do. So make sure you go on YouTube and go to Joe Cronin Show and go to JD from New York 206 and go to the Best There Is podcast and Devious Dave Rose. Make sure you subscribe to all those guys. Make sure you subscribe to Joe Cronin at Joe Cronin Show on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to JD from New York 206 at the same Twitter, JD from New York 206. Make sure you subscribe to Devious Dave Rose. And also make sure you subscribe to Justin Bailey from the Best There Is podcast at Justin Bailey IND. Subscribe to my channel at Type Wavy. That's TYPEWAVII. Subscribe to my Twitter there. And also subscribe to this channel, Xhaoz Wrestling. We will be doing a lot more shows. I told you guys I got my match coming up with a small show for this title, which, trust me, I'm not losing my title. I'm going to kick the small show's ass. I will kick his ass. But we're going to be at WWE headquarters real soon, too, doing some more wrestling news, predictions, and stuff. Continue to watch my China dedication video. Yes, the music that's inside that video is my own. And thank you for the views you gave so far and the likes and everything. We're building the channel up. We're building the brand.